Yo. Hold on. I might want to move the mouse forward a little bit. The overlay is getting in the way. Hello. Hello. Hope you're all doing well. If any of you are surprised, don't be. We've started a new stream time, new stream schedule. It now includes a Sunday stream. Surprise, idiots. No. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. And it's Grey Mass now on a Sunday. And as the title suggests, it's a deadline stream. I want to be able to get this chapter done before I leave for Tokyo. Tokyo, for Japan, not just Tokyo. So I've added an extra stream time, and basically the purpose of the deadline stream is that I will stream until a page is finished. So there's no time limit specifically on it. This stream may be an hour long. This stream may be 4 hours long, 5 hours long. But basically, the purpose of this stream is that I finish a page. And yeah. So we're on page 12. We will be finishing page 12 today. And this should essentially ensure that I finish chapter 3 before November. Which sounds really doable. You know, now that I've said it, it basically means that at most, I'll need 8 Sundays, like 8 Sunday streams, which is probably more than. Hold on, let me do the maths on that. How many Sundays until November? Well, October technically. Let's look. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. We have 11. We have 11 Sundays until end of October, which means this stream ensures that chapter 3 will be finished, which is fantastic. And exactly what I needed to see, because basically it just ensures that this chapter 3 will be out before I go on holiday. And then it'll mean that next year we start on chapter 4. Which is good. That's a good timeline. But also one of the things I'm planning on doing with my break is that I will intentionally be planning for the next year. And that'll include scheduling stream time, scheduling progress time, and things like that. Just so that next year we potentially kind of return to the whole 2 chapters a year, and potentially more, depending on how things go. But I think it's looking good for that. This year was significantly different just because we've only gotten 1 chapter done this year, but the chapter is twice as long as the previous chapters, so it actually does make sense. However, that being said, I'd love to get more chapters done. So we're gonna make it happen. Without further ado, gotta finish up my yapping, and let's get drawing. Now I'm behind the glass, behind the glass, because we got deadlines to meet. That's the whole purpose of the deadline stream. Got the grummy behind the glass, locked away. And of course, it doesn't mean like you're not allowed to talk, like you're or anything like that, or interact. It's basically just another stream, but with just the notification that we are going to be working until the page is done. But also, you gotta keep me honest. Remind me that we're working on a comic. And there are no breaks. Not no breaks. There are no quitting till the page is done. We know how this works. It's one of them classic deadline streams. Also, on top of that, we are getting increasingly closer to our 250 goal, which will mean a giveaway and then also a PowerPoint presentation, which should be fun, very funny. I hope. I need to work on it a little bit more, but my plan is the current PowerPoint I have is pretty good. Don't know why, but I love me a PowerPoint presentation, especially if it's a goofy one. Alright, that's kind of the only thing I needed to be, like, lassoed. But then also in drafting news, I have prepared. I have started on the preparation for a fight scene. For a fight scene, this chapter, and so that's what's gonna take up a good majority. Oh, ad currently running. I'm gonna leave that up and keep working, but that's also a new thing. So anytime there's an ad break, this little guy pops up, little post-it note that kind of blocks things. It basically just means, like, in future I will kind of stop whatever I'm doing and we'll take a little break. And that just means that people who are stuck in the ad break don't miss anything, essentially. Because I've seen other streamers do it, and I thought that was a nice thing to do. Just take a pause and then just get back to it once the ad break is over. Slightly too big. Yeah, welcome back. So yeah, ad break over. And I thought that'd be a nice thing to do. And also it means that I get some nice productivity time. If I just stop talking and then start drawing, that works really well for me. I say that as I take a drink of water as soon as the ad break ends, so then I'm not productive. Also, I used to stream on Sundays. Like that's when I started out, I was streaming on Sundays. So, kind of keen to be streaming on Sundays again. Okay, now we need scars. We need the scars. Give me the scars, Armella. Yeah, I'll need this to keep it within the lines. Okay, first scar, second scar. I'm not gonna lie, I really loved when Suited, when we rated Suited last time. Um, I showed her the previous panel, and she noticed that one of Armella's scars goes through her eye, and then her pupil actually has that has the split in it. So like she finally noticed the split, which is super cool because like it's such a cool thing I got to work on with the character design is that her eye is split or her pupil is split in half. And then how many? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Okay. Cool. We got enough scars. But yeah, it's one of like a really cool piece that I got to work on with her concept art is that the scars do have like permanent damage on her, even if they've been healed over time. As that some things weren't healed, not fully anyway. Okay, that's kind of all we needed for the face, right? Correct? Yes, correct. Other than a bit of shine, just a little bit of shine. Yeah, nice. Is there a different way to do hair? I mean, every single time I'm like, that's there a different way to do hair? May as well play around with it. I keep changing like bits of my style every so often. I'm just like, yeah, may as well. It's not like it's all that important. Not that it matters, you know? Change things up, try things out. Curious. I'm curious about that, like this look. I think I need to do it slightly more betterer, but otherwise it looks interesting. Interesting and cool, maybe. It's different. It's definitely different, which is a big thing. But it's also like it doesn't look or feel quite as messy as well. So I don't know. Might give it a go. Might give it a try. See how it feels. Okay. Yeah, don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. I like this music. It's very like gentle. So very fitting for and it ends. But very fitting for the kind of more gentle panel that we're working on. It's one of those moments of like uh, sweetness that we get with Ratchet, which I really like depicting. That Ratchet is a very sweet character, and we get to see that through his actions. There's never well, there's always opportunities for him to be gentle with other people, and I like those. I like depicting that, just depictions of just gentleness. Especially with Ratchet, because he's a character who is defined by that. Then I'm actually going to change the hue on this. Yeah, because I like the hue shifting, honestly. Because it's not like hues don't matter. Like the color of certain things don't matter. Not really. What matters is the value. And because the value is lighter, it still looks like reflection. And I really like that. And I've really enjoyed kind of getting to fiddle around with that. Jeez. Hey, Smiley, hello. How are you doing on this fine Sunday? I know, I know. I know what you're thinking. It's not normal to see a mouse here on a Sunday. Guess what? Get used to it. Get used to it. We got Sunday streams now. It's a bit of a change of pace. Chillin'. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. It's the perfect thing to do on a Sunday. That's light. That's details done. We got soft shadows left to do, but beyond that, making good progress. What's the color? What? Not color. Soft shadows. So it's for Smiley, and basically the explanation of what these streams is going to be is that I only got so much time before I head to Japan, and from the end of October onwards, my Sundays are going to be not Sundays. My time is going to be progressively less and less available. So I'm going to essentially once we hit November, I'm probably not going to be able to be streaming consistently, or maybe not quite as consistently as I usually do. What with going to Japan, and then also I have a Christmas break, and on the Christmas break I do uh, leave the state. So ultimately, I'm not going to have um, my streaming, set up with me. But um, so that basically means that we want to get this chapter done before November. With the Sunday deadline streams, basically we don't have a time limit. It's going to be as long as it ends up needing to be. But the uh, the caveat to that is that we have to catching up in advance. Yeah, exactly. The caveat is basically that there is no time limit, so I won't be doing it for 2 hours. I could be doing it for 1 hour. I could be doing it for like 5 or 4 hours, depending on timing. I think there is going to be a hard limit, of course. Like, I'm not going to be doing this for 8 hours. If I end up doing 5 hours, then maybe we'll talk about ending the stream. But basically, these streams will be I end stream once I finish a page. So every page finished means the end of the stream. For Sundays, anyway. So as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 panels left to do. But they're all very simple panels. So very straightforward. I don't think we'll be live for too long. But yeah, the idea is that basically I'll be streaming until the page is finished. And so this will basically ensure that I get the chapters done. I get chapter 3 done by the end of October. Because we have 11 Sundays until the end of October, and we have 8 pages left. So, we have time. So, we will be okay. But this just kind of guarantees that we will be okay. Because also, ultimately, my normal stream schedule has not changed at all. I will be streaming my normal regular hours as well on top of this. So, we will be fine. Yeah, I think illuminating Armella's face is actually a really good choice. Because Ratchet is a beam of sunlight. He's a little beam of sunlight. I put on a little voice when I'm feeling vulnerable. I'm just thinking about that TikTok, not TikTok, Instagram reel. The guy's like talking about his brother, and he's like, I want my brother to be proud of me because he's my little brother. Oh, I put on an accent because I was feeling vulnerable. I find that so funny because it's a very I think very man thing. I do it anytime I'm like feeling vulnerable or uncomfortable. I put on a voice. It's very funny to me. Very funny to be seen, I think. Alright. I knew this page was going to be finished quick. But, no, not page. Panel was going to be finished quick. But that's kind of why I left it there. But yeah. So you know. So if this stream ends up being shorter than usual, that's fine. If it ends up being longer than usual, also fine. But it is the kind of... That's how this... my brain just shutting down. As per... No, that is basically the format of this stream. Is that we'll get it done. We'll get the page done. We won't stop until it's done. Hi, Liege, Lord of Twitch. Hello. Hello, Zombie Slayer. Finished House of the Dragon, and damn it. Oh no. Good, bad, moderate, kind of okay, kind of bad. Tell me about it. Also, the little overlay, the deadline Sundays, careful, the mouse likes to yap. I should probably put a comma there. But it's not telling you don't speak to me. That's also a thing. Feel free to chat because I want to chat and I love chatting with you all. But I also need y'all to help keep me honest and stop me from rambling. Or if I am rambling, make sure that I'm drawing as well. And I might make that the next emote is that just stopping me from rambling or rambling without purpose, essentially. If you know what I mean. Make sure I'm productively rambling. There's a city that's burned during a war from dragons, but they don't show... Oh no, they don't show you the actual burning of the city with said dragon. The closest we get is the aftermath of it and the dragon rider and the dragon who did it looking at said burned city. That's lazy. Yeah. No, I remember what we were talking about last time. That's lazy. It's been 30 minutes. Have a water break. Don't worry. I will grab some water. Let me just do this with... I don't know. I've put the voice on. Let me just do this. I really like the add overlay. Or the add blending mode. Because with Armella and her eyes, it really makes her eyes pop. And I don't have brown eyes, but I understand the struggle that brown-eyed people have not getting representation for their beautiful, beautiful eyes. And let me just tell you, as an artist, I think brown eyes are really beautiful. And so anytime Armella kind of has her glasses kind of illuminated, and I use the add blending layer, I really like it because it really does make her eyes pop. Just a big fan. Just a big fan. They mention how the small folk will not like this blah blah blah. Thousands were burned, innocents killed. Which, I mean, yes, I agree with you, that sucks, so then show us it happening. Yeah, it has much more weight if you actually see it happen. not being told about it, because it's very. Here's the thing: it's super easy to disassociate from a terrible thing happening if you are only told about it. If you witness it, then there is no way for you to turn away and turn a blind eye. Are certain eyes harder to draw? I mean, yeah, I guess, but what I'm talking about is the color of the eyes. So, as a little bit of a insight into me as a person, my eyes are actually a very faded hazel, and because of it, at first glance, a lot of people think that they're grey. It's actually where the name grey mouse comes from, because my eyes are grey, essentially. But for me, as an illustrator and as now a colorist, um, I love brown eyes, and it's because of like just the tones that you can do with brown eyes. And it like sure, it's the same with blue eyes and green eyes, of course, but there is something very special about for me about brown eyes. So I've always found because I also always hear about people being like, "Oh, you never hear people talk or gush about brown eyes," and I'm just like, I'm sorry. If only you knew. What am I doing? Light. But also like some eyes are harder to draw. That is actually true. If you want to go realism, then you're gonna actually like it's gonna be hard to draw all types of eyes, and it's mostly the shape. It's not really the color that's hard to draw. It's usually the shape. The closest we got is the aftermath of seeing a shot of a burned city and then the dragon rider being scolded by their council for it. That's it. That's boring. Yeah, that's boring. No, I'm with you. That's boring. It's too easy to disassociate the actions of the dragon rider through that, because you're gonna just forgive him. Like a lot of the stuff that Ramsay Bolton did in the first uh, Game of Thrones, or in the original Game of Thrones, was so terrible because you saw him do it firsthand, and so you couldn't kind of ignore it. If everything bad about Ramsay Bolton was told to you, explained to you in like in exposition, then you wouldn't find him as bad. The fact that you actually see what he does makes him horrible because you see it with your own eyes and you are witness to it. The terrible things that like trying to remember the terrible things that Joffrey does. You're a fly on the wall. Yeah, well, not so much. I feel like I mean the expression is correct. I feel like fly on the wall and bystander definitely make the most sense to the effect of it, because you see it and you can't ignore that it happened. Whereas with the dialogue, if you are told about it, it could be that this person is lying to you. It could be that this person is, manipulating the person they are speaking to, all sorts of different reasons. And you can just choose to ignore it, like ignore a character's faults because you like Matt Smith or whoever the Dragon Rider was. I actually don't know. But like because you like the actor or the character that committed the terrible crimes, you can kind of disassociate. Also because it's words, and words will never hurt me. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And so as a result, we forgive we forgive uh, a dragon rider's terrible crimes. I need to erase these bits because these are reflections. Because Ratchet's goggles reflect light, so we get to see them reflected. Yippee! Dialogue could also get lost in one of the episodes, and when asked what happens, it's oh well, maybe it was in one of the small council meetings or something, I don't remember. Yeah, you can very easily forget about dialogue. If the dialogue is not impactful, it's just someone talking about something that happened, then you're going to forget. I need light here. I need light here. There you go. Lovely. I do need some motion though in these. So just a little bit of soft motion here with Ratchet's fingers. He has put his thumb on Armella's lens, like the glass on her glasses. That's okay. I'm sure she'll forgive him. I'm sure she'd forgive him for that. But I also like that because Ratchet's probably not going to be quite as careful with glasses. He's got his goggles, and that's the closest thing he's seen to optical kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Optical support. So he maybe doesn't know necessarily how they work. It's not that I've heard the argument, but if I hear, well, we already know the effect dragons have and how horrible they can be, so just imagine that, then I'm gonna flip an effing table. Yeah, I mean, to be fair to that argument, it is established the terrible power of the dragons. The terrible power of the dragons is established. However, I don't, because House of the Dragon is human centered. The actions of this event aren't about the dragon or the power the dragon holds. It's the ramifications of the actions of the rider. It has very little to do with the dragon, story wise. It actually has everything to do with the rider and their choice to engage in this, because as you said, it is their action. So not including the effects of that are an intentional misstep. We got a raid from Frosty. Hello all. Eat a jerk, pal. What? His Royal Darkness. Frosty made you say it. Frosty, what are you doing? What are you doing telling your viewers to say that to me, or he'd ban you? Frosty, abusing your streamer privileges. What is this? If it was me, he would have said something like penis pongus. That's a fair point. Yeah, you're arguing a good point there. I know Frosty well enough. Frosty is a stinky binky. Frosty is a stinky bobinky. That is also true. Nobody's really lied. At this point. Glenn, thank you for giving Ratchet a pat. Ratchet, you're too low. We can't see your sweet little face. Apologies, guys. Thank you so much for the raid, Frosty. I really appreciate it. It's lovely to see you and you guys. How was Chained Together? How'd you guys do? Oh, and we've got a warm up as well. Hold on, there's so much going on. Let me quickly just give a big shout out. First to Frosty. There you go. And then also because you were co-streaming with your lovely teammate M3. Let me also just give a quick shout out to M3 as well, because they were both chained together, as it were. The shadow animation is dope. Oh, thank you. I am planning on smoothing it out just a little bit, but I do appreciate you being so kind, because I'm really happy that it worked as well. So the fact that it works is great. We can now refine it. That's always kind of the goal with a lot of my overlays, is that we kind of want to make sure it works, and then we refine the process and the animation. I have just accidentally saved my Twitch screen. I meant to save my comic. Alright, gang, let's do the warm-up. What is the warm-up? The art villain Shadow Slayer. Okay. That I can do. Shadow Slayer. Now, who is this Shadow Slayer? Cryo. Also, hello, Cryo. How you doing? Second of all, Cryo, can you give me a little bit of a synopsis on the Shadow Slayer? Otherwise, I'm gonna draw uh, whatever my mind kind of leads me to want to draw. I think the Shadow Slayer is a magical villain. Okay. He's a shadow and a slayer. I mean, correct. That's fair. Who can't jump in? Who can't jump in and out of shadow? Okay, gonna look while having dinner. Fair enough. Enjoy your dinner. I hope it is good. Okay, so a shadow being evil, or maybe they have a giant blade that is made of shadow. Oh, they can jump in and out of shadow. Okay, well that I can work with. Well, if they're jumping, they're gonna need strong legs, right? Started with a frog head. Stick with the frog head. It's cold in the shadows, so they need a scarf. Shadow Blade. Yes, Shadow Slayer. Yes. This is my artist's rendition of of the Shadow Slayer. I would use in creative license. Now that I've been told bits and pieces, I can work from that. Every time you talk about your Shadow's layer, I'm gonna think of this guy. Okay, cool. So this guy defines the Shadow's layer because he is the Shadow Slayer. He does look like he would slay shadows. I love that somehow we've just managed to bring Corbus, Corbus back. He always returns somehow, but now he actually has a form, and it's a shadow form. Hi, Lord of Twitch. Hi, Counselor of Art Streaming. You know a lot about writing, so it's something with like Game of Thrones. Then how do you balance the fact that anyone could die at any time with finishing the character stories? Well, that's the thing. You actually sacrifice like with the potential of killing any character you want. You actually sacrifice the potential uh, character stories that they have. Like ultimately, you have to just be prepared to sacrifice what could potentially be a really great arc and a really great ending to a character's storyline. Definitely has an angry boy face to him. Hey, that's a good sign. Uh, yeah. So like with the sense that like a character can die at any time. That kind of a backing to your story writing, like George R. R. Martin had, basically you kind of have to. It's the sense that you have to kill your darlings, and that's a saying that's used very commonly in writing, and it has to do with the fact that you kind of have to have a level of disassociation to your own work, because if you want to tell a solid story and like a good story, you have to not be kind of sensitive to your character's suffering and your own story's kind of shortcomings just because you like the story. But in the sense of Game of Thrones, George R. R. Martin was actually very keen to have characters who had very fulfilling kind of archetypes. Like Ned Stark is a perfect example of a very classic hero archetype. and then kind of pulling the rug out from under the audience by killing him off very early on. Spoilers for Game of Thrones season 1. If I see a character story is finished, my immediate thought process is, oh well, due to the story, you have no more uses. Yeah, that is actually like interesting that you say that. That is actually probably a much weaker way of having a character die, or having like a character death that actually does affect the audience. Because basically, if you have their story arc come to an end and have them be fulfilled, then they don't have a use, and therefore, or they do not have a purpose in the story anymore. So then, as a result, you expect them to die, or to leave the story completely. Bro's just standing there menacingly with almost clenched fists. Yeah, he's just really sinisterly standing there. It's like the fist meme from Arthur. Yeah, he's just like he's just standing there. Hold on, I need to redo the sword because it's just the angle's not right. We don't get to see enough of it. So let me just. His sword. Wait, he's right-handed. Cool. Because I realized I've actually made a lot of characters in Rat Baby left-handed. Either unintentionally or intentionally. A lot of characters in Rat Baby are left-handed. So you'll find Armella is left-handed. And then also another character, Dogen, is left-handed. So far, two quite significant characters are left-handed. And this wasn't intentional, but some of it was a bit intentional. I did want some left-handed characters, you know? Because they could still be a cool character, but being a story, they're now useless. Yeah, and then that also defeats the idea that they would... Like, then if they're not useful, then they're not going to be very interesting. Just, you know, by principle. If a character doesn't kind of contribute to the story, they're just like a Mr. Poopy Butthole. And that doesn't really make things... Like, it doesn't make it very easy to find them interesting. Are you left-handed? No. I'm not. I draw everything with my tongue. No, I'm right-handed. It's a horrifying looking hand. I'm gonna do it this way, yeah. Yeah. Soul's behind his back because he's cool. He's cool like that. He's chill like that. He's the best. He's the Shadow Slayer. He returned from the dark to serve the light. He is the Shadow Slayer. Welcome back, Corbus. He's got one of those swords with a hole in it. Because he's cool. Prick Carso over here. What? I'm not saying anything bad about left-handed people. I like left-handed people. They're great. That's why I'm adding so many left-handed people in my story, because I like left-handed people. And I don't like the idea of having characters be predominantly right-handed in a fantasy world where they probably aren't, like, mocked for being left-handed. It doesn't make sense to me. Saying, well, they were cool in earlier seasons isn't an argument. Obviously, I know you're not saying that. Yeah, well, it defeats the purpose of them. If they're useless for the remaining seasons, then what's the point? Like, what's his name? Jon Snow. He's resurrected and his character arc is fulfilled. He becomes a useless character and he becomes worthless to the story until the very end, and even then it's not very good. Brain fart reading that. Have the Shadow Slayer, Shadow's Lair, just kind of like a second entity. Oh yeah, that's cool. That would actually be cool. Oh, I just added a shadow. Hold on. And then his shadows. That's not gonna do. I need something with no opacity to it. Currently, he is darker than the original, which is kind of like what a real shadow would be. But you'll see. Y'all will see. You'll all see. It's because I can't actually have him be a lower opacity until I say as I just add him to being a lower opacity. I can't have him be a lower opacity without kind of having like a bit of the terrible line work. So I just need to set it first. I like the book I've been listening to where left-handed people are aggressively shunned. No, that's terrible. Don't shun them. They're okay. If anything, once a cool character being turned boring is far worse than a character always being useless and just dying off. Oh, that's terrible too. Yeah, but like, yeah, I agree. Not as terrible as a good character becoming useless. Shadow hold the blade in the wrong hand is a fun idea, I feel. Yeah. Let me just. Oh, this is going to be weird to draw actually. Because it's just shadow. It's just shadow. Oops, all shadow. Oops, shadow layer is all shadow, I fear. It's going to be very hard to define him, but that's fine. It's going to be very hard to find definition for him. His eye's not going to be over there. Like the shadow is its own entity, then the picture, will, no one will who is the shadow. Oh, no one will know who is the Shadow Slayer. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's too much. There's too much on one side. Do it here. There we go. And we kind of give Corbus a purpose. Corbus is either the catalyst for the Shadow Slayer, or he is the Shadow Slayer. I love it. What a hero. Its foot. Just realized it's there, but what's the Thought Cabinet redeem? It's the Thought Cabinet redeem. It's a redeem for Thought Cabinet. We've been playing a lot of Disco Elysium. I feel like it explains itself, right? What more can I tell you? It's the it's basically a whole overlay that I've set up, and it's a TTS. Because we love Disco Elysium on this channel, so I made a Disco Elysium themed TTS. Where would his second eye be? Because I know his second eye would be vaguely visible. Yeah, about there. There we go. Shadow Slayer, baby. He's Huck from Animal Crossing. That's pretty cool. Thank you. He's Huck. You got a noz. Got a snoz. I don't know why I'm giving him a snoz. We're done. We're done here. O wise mouse of the ink, please bequeath upon me a random D&D class with subclass. You think I fucking know a freaking D&D class and subclass off the top of my head? Drunken monk. Drunken fist monk. Also, I woke up 20 minutes ago. Oh no! Wait, no, it's fine. You're on the other side of the world. I gave you one. Gave you one. It's Monk Way of the Drunken Fist. The worst monk subclass. Arguably. Miracle of Goodness, there he is. Yeah. Yeah, look at that boy. Corbus returns to the fold, being useful again. Look at this freaking guy. He beautiful. I like him. He's cute. He's cute. You got a vibe about him. If I saw him standing in a club, I'd be like, that guy, I want to talk to him. I want to talk to that guy. And imagine he's like 3 feet tall. He's 3 feet tall, wearing nothing but a scarf. He's got a sword. And also his shadow is very menacing. His shadow is menacingly just behind him. I need to draw that now. Just Corvus the Shadow Slayer in a club. His shadow like looming up the wall. A fan of this character? Well, you gotta keep him around then. And it's also nice to actually see like a physical version of Corbus as well, because I never drew Corbus. We just talked about him. So now we actually have a version of Corbus, which is cool. So now Glenn, being an average Corbus enjoyer, actually makes sense. I believe there's a shadow monster in D&D that kind of works like that, like a shade. Is it called the shade? There are a lot of names being thrown around in D&D. Shade? Also, the Echo Knight fighter subclass works kind of like Shadow Slayer. Yeah. Echo Knight is cool. I've never played an Echo Knight, but they're a cool concept. Echo Knight. I'm here. I'm over here. I also had a strange dream. I was a lighthouse keeper and bitch slapped a Chinese dragon so that it would coil around my lighthouse, block the light because they are pests in my mind, apparently. That's kind of cool. That's a cool idea. At least, like, cool world building in your own head, which is a win. So Echo Knight Rogue Assassin multiclass would be deadly, I think. It'd be pretty cool. As long as you, like, for a complicated multi-class, you really got to play them right? And for me, I just care about making a fun story or enjoying a fun story. So I don't want to play complicated characters. That's why Ratchet is still one of my favorites, because he was a very simple thief, rogue. Random as heck. My dreams are of a winged giraffe flying Arctic and shit. Yeah. Dreams are weird. Dreams can be weird. If you got a vivid imagination, then you're gonna have weird dreams, I think. That's always kind of a given. At least to me. Is that all? Yeah, that's all. Ratchet's armor. Unprawn? Make me. No, I'll do it. Hold on. Oh, gotta make sure I stretch as well. Also, Krebo, my PT has just set up my new workout routine, and holy fuck, it's really cool. Like, it's really good. I'm actually super psyched to do it. It's very comprehensive. So I'm really excited to actually be working on it or using it now. But like, because I'm being moved to calisthenics, it involves a lot of free weights. I'll open it up while I'm doing the stretch. So we're gonna do like take this as a moment for like self-care and a little bit of a rest. Give me your day's rep range. Hold on. That sounds complicated to me. Um, so yeah, so I've been moved to calisthenics because I've got a body for calisthenics, which is cool. That actually, honestly, was such a huge compliment as being a grown adult who was once a kid who was kind of told that I was just as string bean, skinny to like too skinny for sports kind of kid. Is calisthenics mostly to failure? Yes, 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 yes. But now being told that I have a body that is perfect for calisthenics made me feel so good. Um, so basically, I'll tell you a bit of a broad range. So my weekly run is now separated between. So Monday is my push, shoulder focus. Tuesday is pull. Wednesday is quads. Thursday is upper. Friday is hamstrings. Saturday is my PT session. And then Sunday is my break day. That's nice, but I think your body is perfect anyway. Ah, Quayo. you too sweet. But then I'll go into push. So what I'm doing tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm doing a banded internal rotation, a banded external rotation, push-ups, seated shoulder press dumbbell, easy EZ bar upright rows, dumbbell lateral raises, and then chest stretch against wall. So also being included in this routine now, which I'm actually super grateful for, is also stretches, like stretch downs, which is great. But I got a body for powerlifting. Nice. Your days have changed a fair bit also. That's fair. And that's awesome. Like honestly, the powerlifting form is super cool. Unironically, our child selves would be really happy of our current selves. Very fuck you, I turned out fine. I mean, yeah, very much so. And like some of my exercises do include workouts that are similar to what I did before. So my pull day does include lateral lat pull downs and single arm machine rows, but also includes a lot more new stuff as well. So arm circles, torso twist, ab crunches, and plank is now a part of my pull day, and then low back stretches, which is cool. And yeah, it's nice that I have like hamstring exercises and stuff like that. Still doing plate Russian twists, which for me, like the plate Russian twists feel like agony right now, but that's because I'm just not as used to it, you know? I will be one day. Right now, not so much. But yeah, and my PT is also getting me to focus more on a lot of that free weight stuff and using less of less of the machines, which is also good. Share you my work days with some screenshots. Yes please. I don't know why I went I did the Markiplier thing to show my excitement. I said E. That's great. I also have a super in-depth daily tracker. Nice. That for me, that really helps. That makes such a difference for me. The fact that I have like an app that I just open up on my when I get to the gym, and all I have to do is open it and then just do what it tells me to do is excellent. Because I was struggling with having no real goals. Yeah, that's fair. I think I had the same problem. Is that it was very easy to just like not know what to do and just train whatever, just because I had no way of knowing what I should be working on any given day. On any given day. Okay. Do we? Yes, we do. We have an l'orange. Le rouge. Okay, let me just go to zoom in and fill in what remains. He set my goals for within 3 months. My deadlift is 200 kilograms, 200 kilogram squat. Wow, 180 kilogram. 180 kilogram squat. Still fantastic. 200 kilogram deadlift, and then 120 kilogram bench. Damn. I mean that's huge. Very, very cool. I'm very excited to hear about that progress because that's like incredible. Such an incredible range. The squat is your hardest movement. Interesting. Okay. The bench is going to be tough but doable. Yeah, fairly confident about the deadlift. Nice. Okay. I was reading those backwards, but you know what I mean. Punga, you're too low. You're too low. When can you bench press the mouse? I think Cryo can already bench press my weight. Based on that, Cryo could probably already bench press me. What does the mouse weigh now? I currently weigh about 77 kilograms, so you absolutely could bench me. But I can squat 60 kilograms, which is new. That's one thing. So I can squat 60 kilograms, which is big for me. When will you bench the mouse? I'm reopening the mouse. What? Uh, I'll bench the mouse next month. That's true. The month after. Yeah, month after next. I dislike being manhandled, but I will allow myself to be benched potentially. Potentially. We talking like the mouse? Yeah. I think so. I think so. What are we talking about? Benching me. I could hip thrust the mouse and break him in two, probably. Jesus Christ. It's like this. It's like that one stream where you guys were just talking about assaulting me, but this one feels more personal somehow. You only said like one thing, and it's like that's it. That's all the like that's all. Do I? Something about this space doesn't feel right. Would I actually fill that in? No, that's wrong. That's more correct. It just needs to be actually within the lines. There we go. Yeah, that's right. Break my back. Zombie. I need my back to do stuff with. I don't want a broken back. Tell you what, if my back gets broken, I'm not streaming the comic. Just gonna work on it in my own private time. None of y'all get the comic now. That's what y'all get. Revoking your comic privileges, your comic watching privileges. Fuck all of you. For that, no. Yes, probably. Jesus. I mean, yeah. From a purely theoretical sense, yes, absolutely. We're not. I'm not gonna let that happen. I'll bring bear spray. If I see Cryo getting too back, like spine snappy, then guess what? Spraying him. Spritzing him. That'll teach you to try and break my back. You son bitch. Oh, his smile said hug. Typer. His eyes said suplex. Yeah. I won't allow I won't allow you to trick me. Pepper, pepper spray myself if I have to get to you. Just watch you do it from the bedroom and say what? Oh my god. Don't make it sexual. This is assault. Don't make it weird. gonna preface this now. I don't want to get harmed. I don't want to be harmed in my time in Melbourne. All right, I want to make that perfectly clear. I'd rather refrain from being injured horribly. I mean, we need a large padded area. Yeah. No, I feel like I'd be thrown off a bed if that's the kind of activities that's going on. Actually, when is the time in Melbourne? My gym might be closed. Oh no. I think it's like 12th to the 14th or something like that. It's getting refurbished. Oh no. I think that's the time. That's PAX time. It's PAX o'clock. Somebody who knows better than me can always correct me. But I am very keen for PAX. Your gym is getting refurbished in the last 2 weeks of September. Oh, okay. Well, then it should be fine. We're currently taking a break. We can take a little break. That should be fine then. Because, yeah, it's October. October 14th? 14th of October? No, 10th of October? 12th? It's one of them. It's around then. I'm keen to see people who are down for PAX. Yeah, me too. I know, Just Ellie will do, and Alchemy will be there. I know that Zell will be down there, so this will be my first time ever meeting Zell in person, which is huge. It's my first time ever meeting you, Cryo, in person. Uh, I think Cap of Organized Chaos will be there, so first time meeting Cap in person as well. Very excited. Not going to PAX, but you're down there. That's fair. That's fair. Don't know many folks coming. That's fair. You met with Zell once. Nice, nice, nice. I will be at PAX for 2 days because I just want to go. Like I definitely just want to go. I don't. I assume Fall from Grace will be there, and I assume that I will probably not get to meet her, which is a shame, just because Grace is very very popular. So, and I'm just a stinky little mouse. So I don't think I'll get a chance to meet her. Other than that, I think Sunny is going. This is Sunny's first time not as a like as a content creator as opposed to as a volunteer. I think was what they told me at one point. If I'm there, there will be a fall from grace. No, I assume that that is a reference to you pushing me off a building or something. Oh no. In all instances, I am getting assaulted. In every universe, I am being assaulted. Um, I think that's everyone I know. Making a fool of myself. That's fine. It's PAX. I feel like we're allowed to. I know Giggles isn't going. Giggles will not be there. Oh, thank you so much, Zombie Slayer, for the pets. Uh, yeah, Giggles won't be there. That's fine. Lumen will be around. I don't think Lumen's going to PAX specifically, but uh, we will be seeing Lumen because Nugget time. Been talking about it all year. Nugget eating. Gonna get habit hammered probably. Fair enough. Fair enough. That is a respectable thing to do. Mass gonna be added to the list of people manhandled. Yeah, I assume so. The amount of people who threaten to manhandle me is not single digits. If I'm gonna be real with you, I just like to think that ideally the people who joke about manhandling me are not quite as bad as the people who threaten to manhandle me. Not threaten. Promise. Um, lucky man. How many will be there? I have no idea. There'll be a lot of people there. I'm certain of that. But exact numbers, or actually even approximate numbers, I've got no clue. It's a big event, so it'll be pretty packed. It'll be pretty paxed. 40k? I don't know. Yeah, maybe. But it's also my first time in Melbourne, like properly in Melbourne, so I'm keen to go just to go as well. Um, but yeah, also keen to kind of use it as a bit of a networking opportunity as well. So meet a bunch of new streamers, meet maybe potentially more Adelaide-based streamers as well, or Melbourne-based streamers as well. But yeah, kind of just get my name a little more out there for the pack stuff. Otherwise, holy shit, 40k. I don't think that's completely accurate, but maybe. Oh, Liam will be there. Liam OS will be there. Another name, maybe. Oh right. Oh, that's right. House of Dragon also ends with the houses marching to war, which really pissed you off. Yeah. Well, they're just not going to show the war. That's fine, right? Hey, you got 'em. They just won't show the war. It's fine. We won't get to see that war. We'll get to hear them talk about it. I can definitely understand why that would be annoying. If it's continually done, that's just dumb. Um, last time we went, we got photos with Viva La Dirt League. Oh, that's cool. Watched their D&D speed rounds, which was fun. That's awesome. Oh yeah, I'll have to keep an eye out for those things. Cause I'd love to do a bit of stuff. Bit of stuff. Bit of random shit. Bit of just looking at games as well. Cause PAX may as well look at games. Didn't get the creator pass, which is fine, of course. But maybe I will be vlogging anyway. Not PAX, because I've not been given the right to vlog PAX. However, I might vlog other things in Melbourne. And then be like, oh, and I also went to PAX. I can't show any of it. They're all like 6'5", I swear. Holy crap. Good for them. They don't look tall, but the issue is they are all tall, so it evens out. That makes sense. So they'd probably be filmed quite high up. So as a result, they don't seem as tall as they are. Because the scale is so balanced. I like it. I dig it. Gonna, because that's the back of it. There we go. Yeah. Oh, actually, speaking of coffee pages, I am currently in talks of getting the tarot cards printed. So, we'll see how that turns out tomorrow, likely. I'll probably get a response then. But once I get a tester printed, I'm gonna make a little ad. A little, like a live action video ad. Don't worry, it will not show me. I'm not going to be revealing myself. Revealing my face at all. But I will be doing like a little ad just as like a bit of fun. Because I used to be a cinematographer, so I thought it'd just be a bit of fun to actually make like a video. And then they will go up onto the store. I think these, like the hoodie that is coming up, because I have also narrowed down a design for the hoodie too. Um, So that is also in the works. However, that may be a next year item. We'll have to see about timing. If everything goes well and we're all on our best behavior, maybe the hoodie will come out earlier than next year, but no promises. But that being said, oh, ow. With both of these items, I'm thinking of making them pre-order items. So basically, we would have seasonal options, and then you could kind of pre-order each of them, whichever ones you actually liked. So then, nothing is kind of sitting waiting on the store. And then I also only order as much as people want them, essentially, or as many as people want. But yeah, for the tarot, that is happening. And happening very soon as well, which is cool. For the hoodies, might take a little bit longer, but that's just because I need to design the design that I have in mind. Which, let me actually check the Discord right now. Because there's a vote up there. And yeah, currently still Grey Mouse is in the lead. So the current design is going to be a Grey Mouse one, depending on the votes. However, based on how votes have been going currently, it's probably going to be a Grey Mouse design. So, yes. The Grey Mouse design I currently have relates to personal space. So, we've got that to look forward to. It'll probably be a design that goes on the back of the hoodie. And it lets people know not to invade your personal space, essentially. Something that bothers me quite a bit. When people get into my personal space. Get all up in my personal space. So, I thought, yes, perfect. A perfect design. A perfect design for old Grummy. I don't know how I feel about this front bit. Because really, it probably needs to go the opposite way, doesn't it? Like that. Yeah. That's not right. Like there. I sent the screenshots for you to check out later. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for that, Kriya. Done one session for each day so far. Nice. That's good. And how they've been working for you as well, as like a secondary check-in. Has anyone seen The Boys? I heard season 4 was oof. I've seen The Boys up to season 4. I haven't watched season 4 yet. My thought process nowadays, especially, is that I don't listen to a fucking word people say. You're on season 2, yeah. Okay, cool. So everybody, no spoilers. No spoilers for the boys. I know it looks cool. I so yeah, my thought process nowadays, and it's currently on the boys, and what we're talking about here is that I don't listen to anyone's opinion on anything, purely because I've heard people say it's like amazing. Some people say it's terrible. Thought of celebrities being superheroes and villains is a dope idea. Yeah, it's a really good concept, and it's way like arguably the TV series is significantly better than the comics. The comics is weird and like pretty bad, arguably. A lot of its like shock value is like edge for the sake of edge in the comic. In the show, it's still pretty bad for shock value, but it does have a purpose. Is this a Last of Us 2 situation? I have no idea. I have no. What's with the Last of Us 2? I don't know anything about Last of Us 2. I mean, it makes sense that heroes would be celebrities to me. Yeah, yeah. The concept is very sound. And like it does play really well with like the modern kind of state of the world, and that's why like so much of it is very topical as well, because it kind of very much follows a lot of political and societal trends that we are seeing come to fruition in the real world. And so comparison is very like the potential for comparison is very high. uh The Last of Us 2 got so much hate for it, and more or less some people hate it, some people love it. Or like a Star Wars prequel versus sequel situation. It's not even so much that. I think people are. It's. I think it's my constant. The thing I kind of consistently come back to. On these when I talk about movies and stuff like that is that people are allowed to subjectively enjoy whatever they like, and that's never like you can never take that away from somebody. But now more and more often, people are people are confusing subjective enjoyment with objective quality, and with stuff like The Boys and also like plenty of other movies and TV shows currently that are out and available. A lot of people say stuff like, "Oh, it's a masterpiece" or "It's terrible," but they don't understand what good film and TV is. If you get what I mean, they are letting their subjective enjoyment of something influence what they believe is good quality or what is objectively good. Of course, we can love a bad show and other people hate it. Uh, hate can hate it for it being. I don't understand. Sorry. Other people can hate it for it being bad. Yeah, sorry. Now that makes sense. Sorry, I needed to reframe. Yeah, the subjective enjoyment of something is yours and yours alone. However, more and more often these days, people have confused that. No, that's your fault. No, no, it's not. It's all good. I understood you in the end. I just needed to kind of break down break down what was going on. Um, yeah, more and more often these days, people consider their opinion more important than others. And so as a result, objective quality in film and TV and storytelling nowadays has kind of fallen to the wayside. And it's why people's media literacy is so bad. And it's why people more and more these days struggle to understand or engage with complicated stories is because of that whole sense that if you don't enjoy it, it's bad now. It's objectively bad. And it's what kind of makes things very hard for people to. It makes it very hard to kind of bridge that gap with people where if something is objectively good, but they just dislike it, they can argue forever that it's not good. When the only thing that makes it not good is that they didn't enjoy it. So they're saying, oh my god, it's the best show ever, entertainment defining show, 10 out of 10, when really it definitely passes. Is that right? Yeah, and that's definitely the case with some things. But it's led me to feel that I just don't listen to people's opinions on stuff because a large majority, and this is my opinion, but a large majority of people, when it comes to film and TV, are wrong. Are just incorrect about what is good and what is bad. Case in point, Deadpool and Wolverine. We've heard so much positive stuff about it. The film is garbage. The film is terrible, and it is objectively bad. Storytelling, pacing, balance between action and actual in like depth filled conversation or conversation that propels the plot. The film is objectively bad. And this is coming from someone who studied screenwriting and film for 4 years. And I'm talking about it, and I could talk about it till the cows come home. I could talk about various minimal points and minute aspects that make the film bad. People subjectively enjoy it, and that's totally fine. However, too many people argue that it is objectively good when it isn't. The advertisement and hype for it was peak, but I also haven't watched it. That's fair. And for me, I think the biggest thing I said, because I enjoyed it and I had fun with it, but objectively, it's not good. But I think the most concise and critical thing I can say about it is it's a really long Super Bowl ad. And nothing more than that. And that's fine. If that's how they want to spend their money, then do it. That's fine. If you want to spend like $2 billion on a series of cameos that kind of lead nowhere, then there's no resolution, there's no true resolution, then that's kind of your want to do. But objectively, it's not a good film. And that's fine. Because also, another point that I'm making when I say something is objectively bad, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to have objectively bad films. If you learn from them, excellent. If you don't, that's also fine. It's like my perspective on Nope as well. I really wanted Nope to be good because I really enjoyed Us and I really enjoyed Get Out. Nope is terrible. It's like three people sitting in a room talking. There are occasionally really good bits of suspense about the alien, but otherwise it's three people talking in a room and about nothing very important, and then also assuming a great deal of things about the alien that turn out to be true, but it's only true because their plot armor allows it to be true, and it's just like, this is not how you make a film. And it's frustrating because people will just argue with you about how something is good or bad, but their points are only ever really, I liked it, so you can't say a bad thing about it. And the fact you're coming to me with objective truths about this film that I really enjoyed does not make the film bad. Does not make the film objectively bad. I'm just like, stop arguing me with this point. I know what I'm talking about. And so it's also another reason why I don't argue the points about these films either. If they're bad, then they're bad, and I'm not going to really spend time on it. It's also why I kind of stopped doing, partially because I'm too busy, but also partially why I stopped doing a movie podcast that I used to be on. It's because I can't keep telling people that these movies are bad because they enjoy it, and then they feel like I am targeting them because I'm talking about bad points about a film they liked, and I'm just like, I can't do this with you guys. I can't review films objectively with people who are just too too attached to stuff like that. This is why whenever anything releases, I'm also very careful. You're so very careful with what you do and don't like. Yeah, I mean, it's super fine for you to like or dislike anything. Um, it's just that idea that like, just like how a dietitian is it a dietitian? I keep saying it. I keep saying this, and I'm never like accurate. Let me look it up for a moment. Um. Uh, okay, dietitians. Okay, cool. So it's like the whole fact that you shouldn't really trust a dietitian because dietitians are not qualified or studied in the field of nutrition and dieting. A dietitian is not you don't have to be qualified in anything to become a dietitian, but you have to be certified and tertiary educated to be a nutritionist. In the same vein as that, I would sooner trust someone who has like a degree in film over somebody who watches a lot of films. But nowadays, people very heavily discredit. I mean, for years and years, people have very heavily discredited a film degree because a film degree isn't really like a film degree is not kind of considered an actual degree. However, yeah, if you want to be a nutritionist, you have to be qualified. And if you want to give people advice on how to manage their nutrition, you have to be qualified. Otherwise, you're a dietitian and people don't trust you. So if you want to critique film, you should probably have a degree in film. However, you don't have to be. And that's why so many people's media literacy is so bad. Because people who critique films are not qualified to do so. And I find that annoying as well. What am I doing? Also, something can be amazing, but in the case of Game of Thrones, it ruined casting for at least 5 to 7 years. For Avengers, it ruined movies for about the same amount of time because damn, every story was the same. Yeah, and it's very much like it. Those kinds of repeated algorithmic stories very much do expose like a live wire of what it is to write stories. Again, not saying that's bad, but it does kind of numb people to what is kind of a pretty normal story arc in a sense. It's like people are very, very aware of the hero's journey now because of the MCU, because every single character kind of goes through the same story arc. And it's like Harry Potter. Harry Potter is like the most direct adaptation of the hero's journey as it can possibly be. It's the most literal adaptation of the hero's journey that you can possibly get without being too blatant, without naming Harry the hero, you know. And having him go on a big journey. You know, it's stuff like that. It's just one of those things. It's just one of those days. Because also, I could talk about how, like, Surf's Up is objectively a really good film. I'm gonna open this can of worms. I'm sorry, everybody, but I gotta open up this can of worms. Objectively, Surf's Up is a really good film. However, people subjectively do not like it because it's boring, because it's dumb, because it's a film about surfing penguins, so it's stupid. uh, but objectively, it is really good. It definitely falters, and it has faults. And this another thing. Objectively good films can still have faults. That's a thing. Surf's Up is bad. People don't like Surf's Up. I think it scored. I think it scored relatively well on Rotten Tomatoes. Again, though, also another point. Don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes is essentially like Guinness Book of World Records. You just pay for a good score, essentially. And what I'm saying with Guinness World Records, you just pay for a record. That's what I'm saying. For a world record, in quotation marks. Hero who's very naive and arrogant gets their family or loved one killed. Oh, I'm a descendant of super important. What? And eventually, really cool guy who knows a bunch teaches him everything, and they need to know how to beat Big Bad. The most tropey name being the Dark Lord. Yeah, essentially. Well, that's not really the hero's journey. That's a series of tropes that are very present within these kind of stories. The hero's journey is a lot more simplified than that, but you can you add spice to it, and a lot of what you've just said is a lot of that spice that they kind of throw on top. I hope you get what I mean though. Yes, I do. I do see. I am picking up what you're putting down. I should probably set up a finished panel as well. Not panel, a finished folder, because this is a lot of folder management. Well, not folder management, panel management. You know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. This one. I don't know what I'm picking at. Picking my nose. One's for showing, one's for blowing. I don't know if I can say Robots is an objectively good film. I haven't seen it in a long time, but it's fun. Again, objectively good films, objectively bad films don't have to be good. They just have to be fun. You mean you can enjoy stuff that isn't good? That's fine. Enjoy your stuff. Some of my favorite movies for Halloween are the babysitter movies, and they're terrible. They're absolute dog shit. Picking up what I'm putting down is a pretty funny phrase, to be honest. Yeah, I love it. I love saying picking up what I'm putting down. It's just easy. Squeezing what I'm wheezing, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. It's just me, but I love so many animated movies. Does it talk? Make it talk. We'll go from there. Yeah. One of my favorite forms of storytelling expression is animation. I really like animation. I'm really impressed with animation. And so it's why so many of my favorite movies are animated. I am just so deeply impressed with animation as a medium for storytelling. It's not taken seriously in Hollywood. That's fine, because I enjoy it. I think Leica have been doing some amazing things, and they never break even. As a company, their films have never broken even, but their films are incredible. Speaking of Halloween movies, my favorites are Halloween Town. Oh, yes, I know of Halloween Town. I've never watched it, but I know of it. And yeah, they're fun. Objectively bad, but as I've been saying, that's not the point. They're objectively super enjoyable. Storytelling wise, not great. But they're not supposed to be great. They're for kids. Or originally were for kids. Now they have a cult following. It has a cult following. Them. Okay, these panels are probably pretty simple because I don't really need to put shadow work in there. I didn't put reflections in Ratchet's eyes. That's fine. I'll go back. Shadows. I know I'm gonna get some heat for saying Deadpool and Wolverine is bad. Nobody clip it. I don't want to receive hate for that because I'm not gonna fight them on it. I don't give a shit. I don't want to argue with pigeons. Pigeons on the versing pigeons in chess. Is what I'm saying. Arguing with people who are just threatened because their favorite film is bad. It's okay for it to be bad, don't worry. But it is. Free Guy was bad too, but some people are just not ready to have that conversation. A lot of Ryan Gosling's new films have been bad. And some of y'all are just not ready to have that conversation. It's fine. It's not bad, it's unique. Yeah, uniquely bad. No. But nobody remembers it as well. It was a very good, forgettable film. Which makes it bad. No, I'm joking. It's fine. I'm gonna leave it, because, yeah. It's a point even I don't necessarily care too much about. Guy and Rosling. I don't know what we were talking about. I was having dinner. Don't even worry about it. Actually, I haven't watched Free Guy. I heard people really enjoyed it. However, I also think it didn't do well at the box office. So, I don't know. I literally don't know what people are thinking. What's that? Bullet Train. Bullet Train is so good. Didn't do super well at the box office. Because it's weird. Because it's weird. People don't like weird, sort of. People like a certain kind of weird. I don't know how to explain it, but too many movies currently feel too Hollywood. Yeah, absolutely, because it's all algorithmic. Like, yeah. But something like Real Steel doesn't feel Hollywood. Yeah, well, it's because currently Hollywood is focused on just getting releases that make their money back in the box office. So they're gonna focus on those big ticket items. It's why Disney are remaking all of their old IPs, because it'll get nostalgia butts and seats. Um, it's why we're getting sequels to movies that didn't need sequels, like Inside Out 2, which definitely didn't need a sequel. It's why we're getting another Moana film. It's like these films that were completely self-contained are now getting sequels because they did so well. Oh, we're getting a raid from Zell. Hello, 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 hello all. How you all doing? Hold on, hold on. There's 3 raids. We got 3 raids tonight. Hello, it's so lovely to have you all here. I'm just gonna give a quick shout out to Zell. If you are not following Zell, you absolutely better be. My liege, that's 3 raids this stream. We have 3 raids. Welcome, Zell and Zell's lovely chat. How are you all doing? Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much for following me. And Marin, I do not know how to pronounce names. I am terribly sorry if I pronounced that horrifically wrong. And Marion. Thank you, thank you. It's the Milord. Milord. It's okay, you did better than Zell's first time. Yes! That's all that matters. And Mariana. Interesting. Interesting pronunciation. Zell is yet to pronounce it correctly. That's fine. Sometimes we have things like that. For those of you who don't know who I am, I should probably... okay, soup. Get the soup. You found the trigger word. Zell, you found the trigger word. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Grey Mouse Inc. I am an Australian illustrator, currently working on a long-form comic known as Ratchet and the Beanstalk Brigade. Wow, I pronounced my own comic name wrong. Ratchet and the Beanstalk Brigade. This is a comic series about a goblin called Ratchet who forms a team to steal gold from giants using beanstalks to sneak into the cloud top. It is based on a D&D campaign that sadly never finished. So I'm going to be finishing it and ensuring that it finds closure. The trench that is under the sea. That's a good band. Welcome all. Please feel free to get comfortable. We're just talking through movies and TV. We are also currently just working away at the last few panels of this comic. So tonight is a little different from my usual streaming nights. Basically what I'm doing is that this is the deadline stream and I don't finish streaming until I finish the page. And it just helps me ensure that I get this chapter out before November, which is when I go to Japan for my holiday. Need to raid and run. Big day. Got to eat. Have good stream. Be productive. Thank you so much, Zell. Thank you so much for the raid. Go get some food. Go have a good rest. I am almost certain that you have earned it. I will see you when I see you next. Oh no. Ignore Zombie Slayer. He has almost been timed out as a bot in various other streams because he likes to announce me. He is very, very sweet, but otherwise, very dishonest about me. He's far too flattering to me. I am just a mouse working on a comic. That is all. Nothing more, nothing less, But I hope everyone's having a good night. I hope you all enjoyed Zell's stream. I know I do whenever I'm in. Always a very chill time. So prepare for not chill. Gonna fuck you all up now. Sorry. Dishonest eyes lesion. Majesty is simply too humble to admit his accolades and achievements. Worry not, new cutters, new chatters. Thank you so much, Jim Eject, for following. That's very, very sweet of you. Welcome to the soup. Get comfy. And I hope you are having a very good day. I almost said I hope you are having a good soup. The soup tonight is trying to think of a good soup for you all. It's a pesto and prosciutto soup. Nice and warm, nice and fresh. I cut the prosciutto from the prosciutto tree myself just this morning, and I let it sit on a cold simmer. I don't know what I'm saying. Just saying stuff now. Just talking about soup. Usually we talk about like a different kind of soup each day because we pretend that, or we don't pretend. We sit in a soup while we work. And every day we try to make it a nice different soup. So tonight it's a hearty pesto soup. You're getting the soup. Wish I was having that soup. Well, you can always make it yourself. Maybe there will be a recipe for it one day. For those of you who don't know, I used to be a cook. So as a result, I do a lot of cooking and every so often breakfast soup. Ooh, that sounds nice. I will drop a recipe into my chat. Oh, not my chat, my Discord. Which will be based on the comic world, but we do love a good soup here. So normally there is always kind of a soup on the horizon. So yeah. A breakfast soup. Now that's like spurring some ideas in me. What would be a breakfast soup? Because I feel like a breakfast soup sounds perfect because some days I do not feel like I want to eat breakfast. So a soup would be good. Maybe like a nice small soup. Cereal's breakfast soup. Ah, that's also fair. That makes sense. But I also kind of want a breakfast soup now. Changed my mind. No, you're correct. You are objectively correct in that regard. Cereal is a breakfast soup. You eat it with a spoon, and it's in a bowl. It all makes sense. You're so right. Lord Mouse was also one of the High Lords of Gaming whom fought off the demons of death, the ancient battles of the Blessed Realm. Right, Lord Mouse? No. Also, Cowboy's breakfast soup for you. What is Cowboy? Cowboy is breakfast soup? What does that mean? Also, for those of you who don't know, the little guy above me is the Shadow Slayer. His actual name is Corbus. But he is known as the Shadow Slayer here as well. He slays the Shadow Layer. Shakshua is... Oh, yes. Yes, it is. Shakshua is breakfast soup. That makes sense. You're so right. I still need to have that because it sounds delicious. Worry not, new chatters. His Majesty is constantly too humble despite him being the very reason we live in peace. No. Cowboys baked beans with chopped potatoes and bacon, and then stewed, basically. Now you're just making me hungry. That sounds delicious. And I agree, that's soup. That's soup too. If is it in a bowl? Do you eat it with a spoon? Soup. That's not the criteria for soup, but like you get me. I want some. Me too. I had dinner. I had my brain's completely blanked what I had for dinner. I had a curry for dinner. Butter chicken. I didn't have a curry. I had butter chicken, and it was delicious. But now I want other food, other more food. Me want. Currently just adding motion lines. Um, the cafe cherry beans near me has it on their menu and it slaps. Ooh, well I'll have to check it out when I go to Melbourne for PAX. Clearly. Yeah, eat in bowl with spoon and bread. Yes, soup. So basically do anything for that soup. Yeah, I'll basically do anything for that soup. Yeah. I did gnocchi, bacon, chicken, carbonara. That sounds delicious too. That's not soup. That can't be soup, because that's gnocchi. That's a pasta. You can have it. You can have pasta in a soup, yeah, but we gotta set some boundaries. We gotta set some ground rules, right? Not everything can be soup. We need to set some like laws, otherwise there'll be chaos. Do I prefer them? No, we need a little bit of motion. Otherwise it'll be chaos without the motion. This command is currently on cooldown. Soup is eaten with a spoon. That's true. Anything with the yum yums. Yeah. It's making me real hungry. Uh, and I shouldn't be because I need to be working on this comic, not on eating soup or pasta. Oop, opacity. There you go. Is soup dumpling soup or a dumpling? Oh my god. Has anyone seen Drake and Josh? Because you eat them with chipsticks. Oh god. It's derailing so quickly. What does any of that mean? I'm trying to draw a comic. We're talking about soup. What is it isn't soup? It's like the Rattlefield all over again. For those of you who don't know, we once spent an entire stream talking about which rats would win in a fight, a death match, and it became known as the Rattlefield. Wow, I'm just not doing words good today. Don't worry, it gets better. It doesn't get better. It's always worse. It's always about this quality of talking. I don't construct my sentences before I speak, and that is my great shortcoming. You can't eat soup with chopsticks, that's crazy. You're right. You're right, and I hate it. You're right and I hate that you are right. You can try, sure. Success kind of depends on your skill with them. Any whom shall even have the thought of offending my lord shall taste my blade. Yes, he's not a mod, but he will do it. Zombie is not a mod, but he will still rain fury on people. That's why I'm scared to make him a mod. Like my real blade. Yeah, exactly. I can't make Zombie a mod because he's too scary already. He's too dangerous already. So, he can't be a mod. You're not the only one who hates when I'm right. That doesn't surprise me. I think about it. Think I think about it about 90% of the time. Mm. We're done here. We're done here. Let's move on to the next panel. We need no more. We need not dwell. Need not dwell. 100% of the time. Wow. Jesus. Color. Color layer. I do have the random thought of banning all of Twitch chat so that I can better protect his high liege Lord Majesty of Twitch. No, that's not going to do me any good. That's terrible. I won't feel protected. I'll just be alone. That sounds terrible. That sounds shit. Oh wait, shit. I missed. It's too far of a reach to get my bleep. I say go for it. Don't do it, Cryo. I can't demod you right now, but you better not. You better not. These people are good. Most of the people who follow me are good people. I mean, all the people who follow me are good people. But some of you are little shits. Talking about you, Cryo. And you. It's best way to keep them safe. No! It's the best way to make me just have to rely on talking to myself all the time. None of us want that. That will actually go crazy. We don't need that. Shadow time, baby. We're back here again. These panels, because these panels are so small, we get to the shadow layer so quickly, which I love because, hey, keeping it real quick and consistent, which is nice. Only way to protect our Lord is away from all these disgusting possible chatters who shall betray him. It is certain these chatters will betray Mouse. No! They seem nice. They seem friendly enough. I'm willing to advocate for them. Advocate for their good value. No, please don't ban everyone. Did I get carried by Zell raid even though I wasn't watching Zell on your phone? Yes, you were, Giggles. You're here now. Surprise. Welcome. Did you fall asleep or were you pooping? Those are the only potential ways you could have not realized you had been brought into my realm. Yay, Zelraid, yeah. I'll start by banning Giggles. Yeah, get her out of here. We all know it. Now it's just on the showering. Ah, fair enough. Another form of way in which those slip through the gate. The grey gate. Of Grummy House. I don't know what I'm saying. Just saying stuff. Just saying stuff and things, you know. It's being king of the dingo. But I had Zell tabbed on the PC, Shags open on the phone, was brought here on mobile. Weird. Twitch app is wild. That is very odd. It shouldn't be doing that. That is not how Twitch is supposed to work. I don't think. I'm not a software engineer, so I wouldn't know for sure. but I assume it's not. If it gets you here, then it's doing its job though, because you're supposed to be here. This is where you're meant to be. It's where you're accepted. Accepted and wanted. The headphone cables are going nuts. Let me just prop them up so that they don't cause any trouble. They will still, they'll fall off the office. Wow, I'm really not doing good with my words. They'll fall off the desk in a second. I may already be going crazy. Okay, that's pretty much all I need to do for the background. Just keep it simple. I think that's kind of my goal for the backgrounds right now. It's just to keep things simple. I need Ratchet's eye color because that's how I make his ear highlights. It is a weird roundabout way of making this work, but that's how I do it. Is that his ear highlights are just his eye color and sprayed very softly. I got Golden Gay Time protein custard. Ooh, that sounds really nice. And I just heated up and put crushed Oreos in it for dessert. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. That actually sounds really delicious. That's a good dessert. I currently have a bunch of like high protein puddings which I use, and those are great. Those are really, really delicious. It's incredible. I'm a fan. I'm a fan too. That sounds super good. Okay, the next bit is just adding some just little simple details to the trees. Again, I always talk about like keeping things simple and then I make things like immensely complicated, so I'm trying to stay loyal to that idea that I'm actually trying to keep things simple. And these are not like very normal ways to draw trees, but it adds a nice bit of texture and pattern to it, so it does make a nice difference. And breaks up a lot of that, like, just single color stuff in the background, which I don't like. Wiki did not like. Ah, interesting. Get with the program, Wiki. It's protein, it's good for you. But with that, we're actually done on that panel, which is so good. And I say done, I mean I need to do the light, but other than that, we're almost done. We do not raid out until we are done. We're close to done, which is cool. Just not a fan of the powder texture most proteins get. Oh, okay. I have a friend who's like that too. It's fair enough. Some people just don't like the powder texture. But it tastes like regular powdered custard to you? Okay, interesting. I get a macchiato protein powder, which I really like. Um, but it kind of just tastes like coffee, which is why I like it. It's got 60. I still got 60 grams of protein left for the day. Damn. How much is your total? Great, the color that's like that much. And 600 calories. Okay. I think it's just going to be missed. That's fine. I think that's a pretty, like, you are pretty close to that goal. 220 for protein, 2,500 calories. Okay, nice. Because I'm actively trying to put on weight, I've got 3,000 calories and 200 protein. So we're twinsying. Like, we're pretty much twinsying on that. It's pretty cool. No, but seriously, new chatters, I go to whisper in their ears. I dare you to think of hurting my lord. No, we don't threaten new chatters. We on this. We on the slow bulk. Nice. Lucky. I gotta do the fast bulk, and I hate it. It's too much food. I want to enjoy my food. Not these, obviously. Oh, currently on a little ad break. We'll stop talking so that people who are in the ad don't miss anything. I might actually have some water. It's always good to be prepared. Debatable. They're all good people. They're from Zell's, so they're the sweetest of beans. Clearly. If Zell brought them here, then they're almost certainly the sweetest of beans. So we can be. I feel like we can rest easy. What if? Nah. These guys, all the people who've rated, they've been the sweetest of beans. They've been the loveliest of sorts. I trust them. I hope you, I hope you know that. I trust you all. I trust you all deeply, even if silent, not silent. I force of habit. Silent is one of my troublemakers for sure. Even if zombie maybe doesn't, I trust you. Alas, I shall be on the ready at a moment's notice, both my sword and shield ready to strike down foes with such righteous fury, gods themselves. Yeah. My mods, like, take down any threats. Oh, kitchen grubber.
We love visitors to the kingdom, but if they make one slip up, I will have them drawn, quartered, and their remains buried as a shallow unmarked grave 4 miles out of town.
Kitchen grubber, you're a little low. You're hidden behind the deadline overlay, mate. We can see him though. He's a little popping head. He's popping little grubbo head. Kitchen grubbo, you can't be threatening people too. Couldn't even have tried to say it better. That was kitchen grubbo. That wasn't cryo. Cryo didn't say that. That was kitchen grubbo's words. That was kitchen grubbo's threat. I didn't say it. Grubby did. Yeah, Grubby. Grubby, what's gotten into you? The kitchen foods, I guess. Kitchen chemicals. Grubbo. I mean, Grubby works too. They a bit grubby. Is that done? My fault. My bad. That would be a good idea to do to trade as my majesty. What? Drawn and quartered and buried in a shallow grave. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Surely we can forgive and forget. No, drawn and quartered. Oh my god. But here they only get to make one Forgive or forget? Yeah. You get one. Meet or greet. That's it. To forgive would be the greatest mistake. Well, on the other hand, they are not worthy of being buried. We shall simply feed them to the beasts, guys. No. Well, I feel like we're safe in the assurance that, like, no one will ever cause me harm or bring me harm. I feel the threat is too high. It's too dangerous for them, clearly. They can't risk it. I certainly wouldn't if I were not me. Death or cake? We are out of cake. Oh no. That means there's only death. That's not good. Why are we out of cake? Why could we not have more cake? Why do we forget to buy cake? Why do we always forget to buy cake? Why is it never on our grocery shopping list? It's because y'all want the death. Y'all want to deal out the death. Because we got plenty of that. Got too much of that, if anything. It's a bit meh. It's a bit squiff. Just. I only bought enough for 3. It's very little cake. Oh, we're talking volume. Volume of people to desire for cake. That's not much. Yourself, zombie, and I have cake. Unfortunately, the rest must choose death. What? Even silent? Even giggles? But that's the thing, my liege, because you won't hurt anyone. They will hurt you unless, I killed them first. No, that's not the logic. It's not the logic we need. We are bulking. That's true. We are bulking. So we do need the cake. I don't know why I'm agreeing with you. Because the underlying message is grim as well. Cool. We're done here, too. On to the final panel. Made good time, though, which is good. There's enough for like 36, but you gotta respect the bulk. I feel like that's an intense bulk. Like, that's a real intense bulk. I don't know if I am with that. I'm not even that huge of a fan of cake either. Like, if we being real, I'm happy to share my cake because I don't necessarily want to eat that much cake. Depends where you're starting from. Does it? My logic is that akin to a zombie apocalypse logic. Anyone not us shall perish for the sake of our safety. Shoot now, ask questions later. No, that's madness. That's not to question your methods, zombie, but that's crazy. That's mental. No, he's got a point. No. Absolutely not. Well, ask questions if we can. Maybe not. Got better things to do. If we're not too apathetic to the questions, then maybe we'll ask them. Oh no, my. Oops. The scarf. I'll ask where the others are. It's so threatening. It's so threatening. That's horrible. that's that's actually like evil. No. No zombie slayer. Oop, got the line. Whoops. Okay, and that is most of Ratchet done. Just put tongue color in and tooth color. Oh, and the eyes. I always forget. No. Stop that right now. You're harming me. I give them a tour to the stables where the horses are. Oh no. Not the Cryo brand of justice. I already know where this is going because Cryo's talked in a similar way like this before, and it was about how he would harm me, but like in a friendly way. So don't worry, guys, I'm not being harmed. I mean, I don't know about you guys though. They sound pretty adamant. Have them drawn and quartered. Then introduce them to my version of art and math. Drawn and quartered. Oh, God. In my defense, you were the one who said crazy. I don't care. I'm ending it. I also said soup, but we don't see anything saying get in the soup, do we? Can't defend yourself with my words. That's not how this works. That's not how this system works. That's sky. It's very little sky in this one, which is good because then there's very little shadow to draw. Yeah. Cool. Kill you with the sword of friendship and love. I'm down. None of this, zombie. You said it. We can't just not say crazy, alright? This is my stream. We can't just not say crazy. It's a little Tauren emote. We love Tauren here. Tauren is the best of the streamers. Okay, cool. Colors are in. Now I need to go back through and just make sure they're all like filling every spot. What the? What emote is that? It's the shush emote? Can't shush me. I'm the big guy in charge. I always love being here. I'm glad you do. I'm glad to hear it. I love that little monkey. There we go. It's a very, very small piece of spot. Is it? Oh. I thought that was a Nintendo DS. Then I saw it on the big screen and it's a gun. I was like, oh. I thought that was gonna be cute and whimsical. Never mind. Never mind, it wasn't. It was grim. It was grim like everything else that's happened here today. Okay, now shadows. Trying to be as efficient as possible. But these are faces, so we're going to need the soft shadows as well. So this last panel is not going to be like super quick. which is fine. There's more to be done. We're close. Ooh, there we go. I mean, it's not perfect, that's for sure. Not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of the nose placement on Ratchet right now. I can fix that, but I might. Oh no, that's okay. Just needed to add the shadow. There we go. Just getting into that hyperfocus mode now. Oh, I should actually hydrate, shouldn't I? Take a quick pause to actually drink some water. And straight back into it. Water. You all better be hydrating too. Can't let you go dehydrated while we drawing. That's just not right. That shit ain't right. Okay. Yep. Top bit done. Finish the rest of Ratchet. I really need to work on like focusing on a single character. So I am making sure that I finish Ratchet's shadows first. Then we move on to Armella. Hit the line. Damn it. Gonna make that shadow a little bit lower. Since it is the lower part of the armor. that crease doesn't work there. Last little bits of ratchet for the shadows layer, anyway. Oh, it's a low opacity. And also a soft eraser. Yep. Knew it. Just knew it. I am fool. Fool of the Grim. There we go. Okay. Last but not least, Armella. I just filled in that entire color. Didn't mean to, because it's like just a little bit of non-shadow. My king, I greatly apologize for lack of chats on cooking dinner. That's okay. Don't worry. It's allowing me time to focus. You have nothing to apologize for. Don't even worry. At some point, I gotta lock in, you know? A quiet chat is always good for me, and it's always welcome. A quiet chat is always welcome for me because it allows me kind of time to focus. And because I am prone to focusing quite a bit, it does help. It is never unwelcome. Also, a chatty chat is also welcome. Everything is very welcome here. I'm happy to work with both. But if I get this done, hey, use 100% of that brain power. I can't do that. Some of that brain power goes to thinking about how Surf's Up is fantastic. Indeed, lock in. That's the goal. It's not always foolproof, but it's getting there. It's getting close. I try my best, you know, to stay focused. At the very least. And with that, we are actually getting close to finishing it, so that's good. Detail. But no killing heretics of yours, that's not welcome. No. No killing well, no killing just people. I have not seen a heretic. There are no heretics in my stream yet. Or currently at all. So no killing. No murdering of heretics in this chat. We're not the Crusades. My good man. We're not trying to siege the world. We're just drawing a comic. And saying some stupid stuff along the way. There we go. Okay, fine, I'll settle for torturing heretics, but no killing. I feel like that's the best I'm gonna get, so I'll just accept it. I'm not condoning it. However, I feel like I'm going to get nowhere otherwise, so okay. Okay, good deal. No, it's not a deal. I'm dealing with it. But it's not a deal. We're not agreeing on anything. I'm mad at you. not some sort of tyrant king. I'm just a mouse who draws. Imagine I just like snap and I'm just like, enough! I am a king. I become King Grey Mouse and my model completely changes too. I'm just like, just King Grey Mouse just appears uh, instead of the model that I have now. It's completely different. I had the word deal, so I'm all in. No, I said I'm dealing with it. I mean that emotionally. That's not a deal with you. It's a deal in my own mind. Makes it harder and harder for me to convince people that I don't run a cult. Mad at me for not coming up with it later? Yeah, that's totally fair. With it later? Usually, isn't the term earlier? If this is the version of the Delulu brain of like your Delulu version of me, Gramoose, then wouldn't it be that I would want you to come up with it earlier? Deal, dealing, same thing. I don't know. I'm confused now. I'm just gonna let it be. Just gonna let the world be. Oh. Pardon me, guys. Just burped. Very rude of me. I said what I said. I know, but my brain is now my brain is now tired. So it's just like, okay, it's all right, fine. I can't mentally like joust with the brain I have currently. So I'm just like, I'm gonna let that be. I'm gonna let that one go. I'm like, I'm not witty. I'm not witty right now. Oh, jeez, that's too big of a freckle. You can have big freckles, but Amela doesn't have that big of a freckle. I feel like I might do with a bit of a more shadow, but we'll see. We'll see. My defense, you say that if you ever had superpowers, you become an evil villain. So you may as well just do it now. I don't have superpowers. I don't got superpowers, so I cannot become a villain. I do not. Yeah, I don't have superpowers. So ergo, can't become a villain. Ergo, um, I just stay good boy, good mouse. Just continue to be good mouse for now. Also, I this may be like evidence for me maybe being a good superhero, but I'm like, if I get like a shit superpower, then I'm probably gonna be good. I don't need that smoke. I don't need that attention if I've got like a bad superpower and I become a villain or I become just a bad guy. Then probably no point in me becoming a bad guy if my superpower is like moving eggs with my mind. You know? That's the same color as this scarf. That's probably not a good idea. That's also the same color as this scar. I'm gonna just leave that. But I will prepare for when that day comes. I guess. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want, buddy. I might support you. I might support you along the way. I won't. I won't condone your actions ever. I won't condone your actions in this sense. If I'm still good mouse, then why would I condone heretic torturing? Terrible. Evil mouse, though. Maybe. The world is relative, mouse. Maybe. That's terrible. Oh my goodness, I forgot something. Ratchet's eyes have a bit of purple in them. I forgot. Oh no. Gonna have to go back. Add purple into Ratchet's little eyes. That's fine. Mela has like a bit of orange in her eyes. I'll probably be that weird gremlin like evil sidekick on the main villain that's super fucking weird but lives in the sewer and stuff. You willingly do that for me? That's wild, man. I mean, I appreciate that. You don't necessarily need to live in a sewer for that. Like, you don't have to live in the sewer. Like, you can hang out, you know, if you want. You can just hang out, you know? That's cool. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you just hanging out. That's okay. And then for the next bit, for soft shadows, we actually need to get rid of the shadows and details. It'll make sense in a moment. Everyone, do not worry. Then we highlight the things that will not actually need soft shadows, and then we just invert everything. Then bada bing, bada boom. We add soft shadows. Like so. Then we re-add the details and erase away everything that does not fit or would be eliminated. I will probably be the wild card. Good for you. Yes, you will. You're already a wild card. We kind of need the rest of the face to be illuminated. Like so. I don't know. I can't predict you, so I feel like you're already a wild card. Illuminate the baby's little face. Or at least the lower half of his face, really. I would like to see the baby. He is here. The little baby. Goblin. He is such a sweet, sweet bean. Wait until you see the dialogue for this bit, because you'll be like, oh shit. Well, he is a sweet bean. He is still a sweet bean, but oh my god. Fighting? Moida? He's excited about fight? 4-2 battle? He is. Yes. I was in the eraser. But my definition of hanging out is killing my heretics. But apparently, because of morals or whatever they're called nowadays, I can't do that no more. Pout's like a 6-year-old. No fun. You are certainly the wild card. We shall protect Ratchet with the same protection we give our High Lord Majesty. That I appreciate. I think that is good. He deserves to be protected. He's a good bean. Okay, and we gotta put the glasses layer in. And then the light layer. And then we are done. Pretty good deadline stream. Like, very productive today, which I'm very happy about. Quite hard to see this one. And Suited was definitely right. We need a little bit of white in the darker cell shaded bits, just so that we can kind of see the shapes a little bit better. So I'll do that too. That'll be one of the things I do before we end. Nice actual question. In some franchises, the author does a thing where God literally visits the world in the flesh and acts though as if he isn't a god. Is that a thing for Rat Baby? Could I get you to elaborate a little bit for me? Because I probably have an answer for this. If it is what I think it is, then I have an answer. Like if you know a scenario where if you read enough into the lore, you can know that, hey, that's God right there. Yes. So fucking bartender, no, seriously. Oh, in that sense, yes. Yes. Because it's a fantasy world, it's not God. There are gods. There are multiple gods. And some of them will make appearances. Actually, all of them will make appearances at different points. And you've asked, depending on the lore, some of them will be hidden amongst ordinary folk. Some it will be very obvious for the reader that they are the gods. For others, it will be less obvious that they are gods. An answer probably yes, yes, yeah. So I can answer that question. The gods will appear. Yeah. In different capacities, for sure. Some it'll be completely obvious that they're a specific god. In other examples and scenarios, it will be hidden that they're the god. But if, as you learn about the world, it will become more obvious that they're the god of this specific thing. And then in other with other gods, it may actually be plot points that it's not obvious they're a god, but it is relevant. So yeah, and it's not a spoiler. Like that's not a spoiler for anything. That's kind of an explanation of lore. It may become one of the things in the theories chat, but it's not currently. So I'm happy to tell you. Call me the smartest smart person ever. Big brain usage, let's go. Yeah, nice work. Very good question. Like, no joke, very good question. I realized the second hand on her glasses just didn't exist. So let's make that so. Yeah, cool. The next light, which is a little bit more complicated for this panel, which is good. Keep me on my toes, really. because we got another one of these panels where Ratchet's looking at Armella, so he's going to get some reflection in his eyes. Slightly too far away. There you go. So at certain times they will be very clearly a god. At other times it's just some nice old woman who owns a shop or something. Yeah, pretty much. Like, yeah, pretty much. Without spoiling too much. Yeah. Because I wouldn't want to spoil it for you. So I will kind of leave it at that. Oh, not leave it at that, but you know what I mean. Like, I won't elaborate too far because I would not want to spoil it for people who want to like read it. Read it fresh, and maybe guess or figure out potentially who the god is or who the gods are. Because there will also be different depictions of divinity as well in this world. So there will be different like pantheons of gods that are explained in the world, which may not be the real gods. They may be just people's interpretation of the gods, things like that. So cool to think of because the answer is right there, but you don't know it's the answer. Yeah, yeah, I enjoy writing stuff like that, like that kind of a story arc, not story arc, but that kind of a like addition to the story is very fun to write. So I definitely like it. I don't like that. I don't like that line work. Might do some very simple versions of this and then we'll call it there. Okay. That'll do. That'll do it. Right, so you can throw people off with a yes. Here are the here are the temple to the gods, and then in other parts it's like, is there a god here? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe there's a reoccurring character. Guess you got to find out for yourself. Yeah, you got to read on to find out. There may be an introduction of a god in the next chapter. That's not me alluding to anything. That's actually true. A god will appear in the next chapter. You, however, will not know who it is, because this is one of the hidden gods. One of the gods appears secretly in chapter 4. Not going to tell you who they are, not going to tell you what they are. They could be a penguin, there could be a cat showing up. They could be like a baked apple pie on a stand somewhere, but that might be a god. And it may not be like fully explained until one of the spin-offs, because it doesn't necessarily affect the story. Because that's something that I'm doing as well, is that there are going to be things in this comic that do not affect the main storyline, so they won't be resolved in the main storyline. So, but they establish stuff for the next storyline. And so then that's kind of the practice that I'm doing to, in one sense, bring something new to the spin-offs where the story does kind of feel new and slightly different and unique compared to Rat Baby, but also gives that reread value for Rat Baby 2, so it enhances the original content while also bringing something new to the spin-offs. And that's how I'm doing my spin-offs. I have 2 spin-offs planned, and they already have stuff in this main series that is being established. These things that are being established will not have any kind of plot relevance to the main story, or they might have minimal plot relevance to the main story. However, I'm establishing them now because it makes the most sense, and then also when you read it and when it becomes relevant, then you can kind of go back and reread previous chapters of the main series and be like, oh crap, that's who that is. But that's why this person is important. Regardless of what it is, it sounds awesome. Hey, thank you. But we are done. Tonight's deadline Sunday has come to an end. We are finished, and in 3 hours, which is actually really good time. For 6 panels, 3 hours, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's great. I like that stuff. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. There's a lot of, ooh, that's why what he was saying. That's what he meant. Yeah. And there will be things that happen in this story that might not, well, that might be like weird or a little bit odd, but then make more sense as you kind of get more into the world. Then the only way to get fully into the world is to get into the next stories, which will be related but not directly related, which I like. I like stories that are like, this is a big world, this is a big world, and Ratchet's story is just one of many, and that's kind of the format that these spin-offs take. Now let's look at who we gonna raid. Who's live tonight? Ooh, maybe Christine is live. I feel tempted to raid to maybe Christine. We also have Sun Koi, who has only just recently come back to streaming, which is cool. Okay, so now that you're done, my liege, I must bring up the topic of an entire city denouncing your name and calling you a fake streamer. Has someone done that? Oh dear, that's not nice. That's not friendly of them. What are your orders, my king? Forgive them. They do not mean to be wrong. They do not intend or mean to be wrong. We forgive them. But with that said, I think we're gonna raid to maybe Christine. Maybe we're gonna raid to Christine. I think we should. Let's start the raid. Oh, wrong thing. Let's jump across to the end screen. I am not there. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate all of you here. Really appreciate all the raids. Very, very sweet. Very lovely to meet all of you who are new. I hope to see you all again soon. I know that I will be in Zell's streams. I'll be back in Frosty's and M3 streams, so I'm keen to see them as per. But I will be raiding out for tonight. I will see you all tomorrow, maybe. I will be doing more of the comic tomorrow, but it will be on a new page. We will be getting started on page 13. So, thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Forgive, that's so boring. No, forgiving is good. I will see you all next time. Go be the rainbow in somebody else's day, because you've done more than enough here. Alright, see ya.